I live in a small city in the Netherlands. I don't think it's actually little. For me it isn't, for a Dutch person it isn't, but for the world it's quite small in terms of population. Anyway, I think it's a really beautiful city and I would recommend anyone, if they're in the neighborhood, come down. It's really beautiful. For instance, we have a few cool things. We have a very old market. We have the oldest brick building in the Netherlands. It's like 500 years old, something like that, maybe 400 or 300, who cares, something like that. And we have this beautiful cathedral called the St. Jan. I've wanted to portray that for a while. I've made drawings about it, but if you know my style a little bit, I'm not amazing at details. And I'm not very accurate either. I just don't care to be. I won't ever be. I think. Maybe I will. But that means that something like the St. John or Cathedral, it's hard to put into a painting because it is very detailed. And I wanted to anyway, because I do think there's a lot of interesting stuff about the cathedral. So I went down there and I made a sketch, and I think I captured a lot of what I love about the cathedral. And I also feel like I captured details that I think are interesting. But it's not very accurate, I would say. One thing that is missing from it is all of the decorations. The St. John is very well decorated. It has tons of statues and other beautiful things that make it amazing to look at. But I can't do justice to that. I can steal some of the shapes that I see and put those on canvas and make those beautiful and do something interesting with that. But the decorations I can't. So the story I wrote for this painting is something like, oh, I went to the St. John and everyone keeps talking about how beautiful it is, and I agree, but they keep talking about these beautiful decorations and statues and I have to just pretend I see them too. But I'm kind of worried because it's supposed to be a holy building, but I don't see any of those statues, which I thought was a fun, interesting perspective or a story to write about. Anyway, there's a lot of colors here, of course, I always do, but probably more than normally. And I also played a lot with extra lines of color, and I think I'm on the brink of doing something new with how I fill in spaces. And you see a lot of lines in the spaces of my paintings currently. I think I'm gonna temporarily at least step away from that. And I'm probably gonna look into something that's more impressionist-esque about how to fill in spaces. It's not gonna be impressionism, but it's kind of a little bit similar.